Hey, what's going on everybody? It's ETA Prime back here again. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the coolest portable monitors that we've ever had a chance to test out on the channel. If you're a regular viewer, you've probably seen a couple portable monitors on the channel, and when it comes down to it, I'm a huge fan of these, be it a 1080p or a 4K monitor. But when it comes to this new 4K monitor from AVA, it's got something built in that I haven't seen in any other portable monitor on the market yet. And that's total wireless connectivity. So we still have a mini HDMI port. We also have USB Type-C. We can do video in through USB Type-C if your phone supports it or if your laptop supports it. But this is actually set up to be totally wireless, and it's not using Wi-Fi, it's not using Bluetooth, it's actually using mmWave technology. So we've got our controls over here on this side. We still have USB Type-C and mini HDMI in, so you can use it like a regular portable monitor. But with the included hub, it makes this monitor totally wireless. First up, we've got our USB charging brick. This is used to charge the internal battery on the monitor side of things, and it'll also power the hub that's included, and we'll get to that in just a second. But along with everything else in the box, we get two USB Type-C cables. We also get a HDMI cable, full size on one end, mini on the other. And with this cable here, it's used to power the hub, or you could charge the internal battery on the monitor. But I'd say the most important part of this whole setup here is the wireless transmitter, and you'll hear me call this a puck because that's exactly what it looks like. But this is the wireless transmitter that we need to get wireless connectivity over to the monitor. Basically, what you do with this is either plug in HDMI or USB Type-C, and it's going to transmit that signal over to the wireless monitor. And they're claiming zero lag or lossless video up to 20 meters away with this little setup. I've had about a week to test it out, and I'm actually really impressed by how well this does work. Taking a closer look at the hub itself, we've actually got two USB Type-C ports, one for power, one for video in, and mini HDMI. It comes with the cable we need to get everything set up. The monitor itself has a nice little aluminum stand on it. We can set this up in many different angles. And if you wanted to go wired with it, you can totally carry this around with you if you need to. So the way I have this set up right now is with an Xbox Series S. We've got power from the included adapter going to the puck. I've also got the HDMI output from the Xbox plugged into the puck. We don't have to do any kind of pairing. Basically, all we need to do is turn the monitor on and make sure it's in wireless mode. We do have touchscreen controls on the monitor itself. Just make sure we're up and running. It is in wireless mode. We'll turn the Xbox on. It's automatically going to connect. And we're now up and running with a totally wireless display on this Series S. And it works with any kind of HDMI enabled device, be it a PC, a Switch, a PS5, Xbox, obviously, Raspberry Pi. Basically anything that supports video out over HDMI or USB Type-C can be connected to this unit. And so far, gaming on this thing has been perfectly fine. Input lag is very minimal. I'm really not noticing much more than I usually get over HDMI with these little portable monitors. And the built-in speakers they're using here are actually some of the best that I've heard out of a portable monitor. I was actually surprised to see it get this loud. One of the main downsides to using these types of monitors is the sound output, but this actually has a really good volume to it. Now it is at 100%, it won't go any louder than this, but I think it's perfectly fine like this. So when it comes down to the specs, this is known as the AVA 4K Wireless HD. This is the 13.3-inch version, but they also make a 15.6 and a 17.3. It's a 4K IPS display, and it does 4K over HDMI or USB Type-C as long as your device supports it. When you're doing wireless display, it's only going to do 1080p 60. It does have dual stereo speakers built in, an 8000 mAh battery that you can charge from the USB Type-C port on the monitor itself. And it comes with this wireless 60 GHz mmWave adapter. And when it comes to the transfer rate of the 60 GHz adapter, it'll do up to 28 gigabits per second, which should be plenty for 1080p 60 video. So like I mentioned, you can connect basically anything that supports display over USB Type-C or HDMI, but when it comes to something like the Switch, you're not going to get that touch input. It just doesn't work that way with the Nintendo Switch, so you will have to use a remote with it. But I gotta say, when it comes to any portable monitor, my main use case scenario would be my Galaxy phone. This supports HDMI over USB Type-C, and it also has DeX built in. I've got the puck plugged into power, so it's also going to charge my device while it's up and running. And this is set up to automatically go to DeX. As you can see, it's more of a desktop interface for Android. It really works well with a keyboard and mouse, but we do have touch support on this monitor, and it does work wirelessly, as you can see. So usually I would have a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard connected to my device. But right now I've just got an Xbox One controller, and I wanted to get into a little bit of emulation. We're going to go with Dreamcast using the Redream emulator. We'll test out Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And I just wanted to show you real quick with these fighting games and emulators that lag is very minimal. And we're still introducing a little bit of lag here with Bluetooth connected to the device, but this is totally playable here. I really do love the idea of this wireless display. I mean, there's a lot of different things that I want to do with this, and I will have some more videos coming, so definitely stay tuned to the channel. And remember, with this unit here, if you were to just plug in over HDMI, you're not going to get touch functionality. You also need a USB connection to the puck, but on most new laptops, we can do display out of USB Type-C. And when it's set up like this, all we need is a single USB Type-C cable plugged into the puck, and that's going to provide video and the USB connection. So the way I have it set up right now is just mirroring the screen. So we have the same screen over here. We've got touch working on the portable monitor, all wireless. And what I can do is just go into the display settings and set this up to extend the display. That way we've extended it over here to the right hand side. But personally, I just like mirroring the screen. I don't need much more screen space than I already have. But yeah, as you can see, display and touch is working just using a single USB Type-C cable. Some laptops won't support display over USB Type-C, so you will need HDMI and USB. So what you've been seeing in the video so far is the transmitter and the monitor really close to each other, but they do claim this will work up to 20 meters or around 60 feet away. I really do believe that it will with a straight shot, but most of the time when you're in the house, it's not going to be a straight shot. Right now I've got my whole gaming room being redone on one half. I'm doing a whole new shelving setup, so it's a bit of a mess. But I was able to set the PlayStation 5 up at the very end here, and we're 23 feet away from the monitor. And it works well with the PlayStation 5. Now, one thing I've noticed is the straight shot really does matter. If I was to push this monitor a bit further behind the arcade cabinets that I have, it does block it off from there. So when they're claiming up to 20 meters or 60 feet, it's definitely got to be a straight shot. But still, right now, I'm actually really impressed. I mean, I'm 23 feet away from that adapter, and I'm not having any kind of noticeable lag here with the PlayStation 5 running wirelessly. And real quick, before I wrap this up, I did want to mention that with the Galaxy S21, I didn't need any external power to the transmitter. The phone itself is going to supply enough energy for that transmitter to function. And initially, I had wall power plugged into the transmitter, which will allow you to charge your phone at the same time. But to know that this just works off of the phone power is really awesome. And I do want to mention that if you're not into Samsung DeX for some reason, you can just mirror your screen. And this is only going to work on devices that support display over USB Type-C, like the Galaxy S series from the S8 on up. And there are other phone manufacturers out there that do support display over USB Type-C, like LG, Huawei, and some of the newer Motorola phones support it. So overall, I've been having a blast with this device. It's been working really well, and there's a few more things that I want to do with this, so I will have at least one more video coming up, because I've actually been looking into wireless monitors for an infotainment center for one of my project cars. It wouldn't stay in there all the time because this does have an internal battery, but it would be really awesome to set up a mounting system where I could just kind of magnetically attach this right there. And then I could wirelessly transmit all of my information, like maps, music, and even OBD2. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to set this up in a project car, just so I could run something like Torque and get all the information from the engine while it's running. Another thing I was really thinking about was just turning this into a handheld emulation or handheld gaming system. Since it's wireless, we could keep something like this very thin and still get some really good performance depending on what device we have connected to it at said time. If you're interested in seeing some projects like that, definitely let me know in the comments below. But if you're interested in learning more, AVA is running their Kickstarter right now for this. Like I mentioned, they have the 13.3 inch, 15.6, and 17.3 inch models. I'll leave links for that in the description, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. But that's going to wrap it up for this one, and like always, thanks for watching.